Pisces, welcome to your May readings. May does really look to be quite exciting in terms of our ability to really start to build the future. Well, I almost want to say, building out of the chaos, building out of the rubble, building out of the things that have been shown to us that aren't working, to really start to move things forwards. I was actually in my preparations for these readings really shown that in the extended readings I'm to look very specifically at opportunities. But having said that, as I've done the readings, we are really seeing how this moves forwards. So welcome Pisces, let's get started. What is happening for you in May? I'm going to cut the pack here. We have 3 of Michael as your first card. Release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. And then we have 10 of Michael. Love it. A situation has ended and you are finally free. New opportunities for happiness will now follow. Put the past behind you. Pisces, this really does feel like a genuine turning point for you. A really, really big turning point. This is an opportunity to, it's not exactly start afresh, but basically something has reached its point of conclusion. Let's draw more cards before we say too much more. And we will find out what opportunities there are for you, what's coming this month in May. I am seeing this, and I'm seeing this, this, and this. And actually, it's actually that one there. Okay, lovely. We have forgiveness of ourselves, ground yourself, expectation, and release the past. Gosh, this is really, really for you. It feels like a shed, release, cleanse month. We'll see what else comes through, but it does feel as though this is a month to, I want to say, take it easy a little bit. We'll see what your tarot cards show. But, initially just looking at your oracle cards, I feel like this is a month where I really want to say cut yourself some slack. Really allow yourself to get centered, to let go of it. I'll read you this actually. Look, releasing the past does not mean that we forget. Let me bring this up to the camera for you. Does not mean that we forget, nor does it mean that if something happened that was bad, that this was okay. But it means that we make a personal choice to no longer allow our history to dictate and shape our life, both now, in our present time, and in our future. So it's not that we forget. It isn't that we cease to be in tune with where we've come from. But we don't let that govern us anymore. Now, expectation is interesting because expectation is a form of memory, which is what this card is about. This card says, our past experiences colour our expectations of future circumstances and outcomes. You are asked to release any form of negative expectations based on past experiences and centre yourself in the infinite possibility of now. So this is literally, I want to say, a month where you're being asked to cut yourself some slack. Get still, get grounded. Don't put pressure on yourself. I feel that you're in a space where something, a period of, it could be a specific something for some of you, or a phase of something, or an actual process that you're going through, but something comes to its natural conclusion and you're in this sort of turning point where you're neither... you're no longer involved in what has been happening. That process or that circumstance has actually ended. But you're not entirely engaged with where you want to go to next yet either. It's like this middle ground. Now, there is massive potential in this middle ground. And how we use the energy is actually to some extent dictating what we're creating in the future. So this is a month where you're being asked, I don't think you're being asked to actively sort of manifest, as it were, to try and actively take actions that sow seeds that make it happen. Although we'll draw your tarot cards because more could come through. But I do feel you are being asked to get still and Anchor yourself in the present moment with an awareness that what you think about is creating your future. The way that you feel is creating the shape of your future. So kind of choosing to be, I almost want to say, like, to be the witness self of your own experiences. This is something that I teach a lot of. I will actually say this now because it feels relevant. I teach this in my tarot course. The reason I voice it is because following this reading, there is an extra video. My tarot course is now open for people. So if you're interested in learning to read, to be fair, if you're interested in learning to listen to yourself, to all of life as it flows through you, through the cards, I mean, this course will open these doorways for you. It's about teaching the tarot, but it's way more. And it is now available. So if you're interested in learning to read literally to a professional standard, at a professional level, if you're interested in actually becoming a professional reader, there are opportunities in this course to do so. I've added a video following your reading that will tell you all about that opportunity. I'm choosing to launch it now whilst in production for very specific reasons. So anyway, you can check that out. So I voiced it because there's something about being really, really centered and grounded. Being in the present, not actively trying to almost like force the future into the shape you want it to be, but being conscious and aware of the fact that you are shaping the future through your thoughts, through your feelings. Doesn't mean you forget the past, but something has reached a point where it has ended. And within that ending, there is a space of opportunity. And I think you're sitting in that space of opportunity. And you're asked to be conscious of yourself. As I said, be the witness self. Be an observer of your own experience. That includes your own mind and your own emotions. Let's draw more cards. This is a very, very interesting reading. And a very, very, very interesting thought-provoking month, I think, for you. So we have the card of Judgment, which is very interesting with Pluto, the symbol of Pluto. Pluto represents rebirth. The Judgment card can suggest many things, but it can suggest that sometimes it can suggest that you are being judged. It can also suggest that you are judging yourself, going over and over something. It can also kind of represent a judgment day. Do you know, this is a turning point. This is the point when we have to face the fact that is over, and we need to birth something new into the world. We need to create a turning point. Okay, I'm seeing this. I am seeing these cards for you as well. I am seeing definitely, that one and that one coming through for you. And these three actually seem to be really speaking to me as well. Let me put that pack over there. Let's see what we have. We have the King of Swords. This is interesting because the King of Swords is a man, well, let's say non-gender specific, because they are non-gender specific, a person who is very much in command of his thoughts. Very much in command of his mind. I think something needs to change here. It could be a mindset, or literally where, grounded in the now, you acknowledge what has happened, but you also acknowledge that it's over. It's ended. I'm sorry if that's been tough for some of you, but it's time to really, it's like, let's be grounded in the realness of the now. With generosity, compassion, kindness, you have the Six of Pentacles. You also have the Knight of Cups. You also have the Four of Wands, which is beautiful. Now this is interesting because the Knight of Cups is a very reflective energy. Look at him sitting here on the water. A reflective energy, somebody who is contemplating how to move forwards. All of the knights have a forward motion to them. Now, I think the energy of the Knight of Cups is interesting because water, when you think about it, when it moves, is incredibly powerful. If we think about the oceans when they come in, I mean, you can't however much you try, you can't stop an ocean coming in. You know, a dam can hold water back to a certain amount, but if you open that dam or it breaks, you think of the power of that water. Even a drip, a tiny drip of water over a long period of time can erode stone. So water is a powerful energy. And this is a forward motion of something, of perhaps your emotions. I think this is a month when, through grounded responsiveness and reflection, you can make a commitment to move something forwards. Like really make a commitment to be in charge of where you might want to go now that something else has ended. That could be an internal thinking pattern. It could be a phase of life. I think for many of you it is a phase of life. I think something has ended. Literally a phase of life or a process of something, or it's reached its natural conclusion. If any of you are grieving, there is a, grieving takes place in waves, and there is a point at which we reach, different stages of the grieving process. Whether if you're at the start of a grieving process, initially we're in a state of shock, but then we move on to the next stage where we're processing our emotions, very powerful emotions. If you're reaching the end of a grieving process, perhaps it's time to put that down and make a commitment to the future. Either way, you are being asked to be compassionate and generous with yourself. The Seven of Pentacles is a card that honours your choices. Look at these flowers blooming despite the prickliness. We have the Five of Wands and the Hanged Man. That's interesting. So we're seeing something where there is not exactly a conflict, but for some of you there could be a slightly competitive situation going on around you. Again, it's very emotional because we see the Neptune symbol here in the Hanged Man. Very emotionally driven situation. I wonder if there's some competitiveness around you. We'll find out more about that in a moment. I will be doing extended readings, so if any of you are interested in those, I'm very interested. We have 2 aces here. We'll come to that in a sec. If you're interested in the extended readings, in my preparations I was asked to really focus in the extendeds on opportunities that are coming. Where are you going from here? But I will also dive deeper into any of the circumstances and situations that come through in this reading for you. What's the competitiveness energy around you? And why has it caused something to feel a bit stationary? Actually, I don't think it's caused it to be stationary. No, it's not causing it. You're being asked to get still. Again, this is a month in May. Whatever's going on around you, whether you're feeling defensive and prickly, or whether someone presses your buttons, you're being asked to get still and observe. Okay, notice, be the witness self, and above and beyond anything and everything, notice yourself. Notice your responses, notice your reactions to things. Because actually this is a month when you can shift something that maybe is triggered on autopilot, but as I said, there is something is coming to an end, or you're moving from one phase, one chapter of something to another, and you're being asked to be an observer of literally of where you are at, because choices are available to you. We have the Ace of Wands, which is an energy of potential, creativity. We have the Ace of Swords, which is also an energy where you can take control of your mind. Very, very interesting. So, and as I said, the King of Swords is very, very much in charge of his thinking patterns. So we're seeing a very big shift this month for you, where you can move forwards. It feels really exciting. Whatever shows up in your world. This is a month of rebirth for you. I mean, your first card, Judgment. This is Judgment Day. It's time to change. It's time to release the past. I mean, your first card on this top row, release the past. And what do you have? Release the past. Something has to be let go of. Forgiveness of yourself. Very interesting. I will read this. When something goes wrong, even if the circumstances were out of our control or we did the very best that we could possibly do, we can still carry guilt after the event. The gift of guilt is to help us to learn and to develop a conscience, not to carry as a ball and chain for the rest of our lives. Listen to the learning and forgive yourself for not being perfect. Release any guilt today. It's interesting because if you are going through any form of bereavement, guilt is a natural part of that process. You know, guilt is an emotion that is part of releasing, part of moving through. I mean, you know, when we lose someone we love, or indeed someone we don't love, actually, when we lose someone, you know, guilt is there because we question, could we have done it differently? You know, should I, could I, you know, or could they have done it differently? Or, you know, there's often elements of emotion that are so present. Anger is another one that's very healthy, you know, to be angry when somebody passes away because someone you love has left you, you know, and yet it doesn't make logical sense to us because we think, well, I shouldn't feel bad about the person who's left me, I'm devastated. But actually, you know, think about it like a child. If you take a favourite toy away from a child, they're going to be really cross. Take something you love away from someone, they'll be cross. It's a natural emotional response, but we logically suppress it because we think, well, why would I feel angry with someone I love so much? And all of these emotions are valuable. I would just say, actually, if you are in any way struggling emotionally, do check in with my book, Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. It will teach you to use the most difficult emotions you have as a source of empowerment. So, this is where we are at. Processing something, getting still, being grounded in order to find empowerment. That's the nature of your month of May. Through stillness, through reflection, through being an observer and making a firm commitment within your own mind to choose to observe your experiences and put down anything that is really triggers the past, anything that is connected. It's almost like you're sifting through your responses, your reactions, your experiences, and I would almost see you as having like 3 little pockets. And anything that you're sifting through, if it belongs to the past, you put it in that pocket or that bowl. If it's relevant to the present, it can sit in here, and that's worth connecting in and connecting with and thinking about what are you going to do with it now, because it's your choice and you're in the now. You know, when we get to tomorrow, it will be now. The now is what we actually are working with. But also if there's something about future expectations, popping it into the future pile. I would then evaluate, and this is an interesting exercise to do actually, I would then evaluate whether your future expectations are truly about what you want to create or whether they are a reflection of the past. Because sometimes we can find ourselves, I'm putting my therapy hat on here, but we can find ourselves straddled with like 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future. So we're going over the past, we're fearful of it being reproduced, we're anticipating that the same could happen again. We're placing a lot of expectation into the future. And again, it could be a glass half full or a glass half empty. But the point is, we're not grounded in the now. We've got 1 foot anchored in the past, 1 foot anchored in the future, and very little of us is present in the now, which means that what we are manifesting is, it's not very conscious because we're not established. I mean, as I said, now is where we are. When we get to tomorrow, it will be now. So the present moment is the point of power. And if, 40% of you is anchored in the past, 40% of you is anchored in the future, 20% of you is anchored in the now. So that's not enough consolidated energy of personal choice and empowerment. It's really, really hard to move forwards from this. So this is almost like I feel your lesson of the month from the great universal challenges of current transformation. It's about being present and absolutely releasing anything that is no longer relevant to you. My lovely Pisces, I am going to move on to the extendeds. I hope this is really helpful for you with that sort of analogy as well. Something has ended and you are being asked to get present. Don't be too bound in either the past or indeed the future, but consider the fact that where you are right now is creating the future. Lots of reflection, lots of groundedness. Anything presses your buttons, observe it. Anything that feels prickly, observe it. Where does it belong? Put it where it belongs, and if it's the past, again, you could do a little ceremony. Whatever you put in, write it down, put it in a little bowl that represents the past, and then, at the end of the day or the end of the week or the end of the month, whenever, have a little ceremony, burn what belongs in the past and let it go. But, there's something about being sort of, in a grounded, present way, sort of active in a non-active manner, if that makes sense. But the activity is about awareness and consciousness rather than, physical activity, beyond writing things down, ready to release them. Beautiful Pisces. Do check out the extra on this video if you're interested in the tarot course. I'm going to look at opportunities in the extendeds. I'm going to look at what can come from this, along with any additional information, guidance to support you. But what can come? What are the dreams that you might have in the future? And how can they be manifested through this process of letting go, releasing the past, and being very present in the now? What can you do if you are present? What can you do to contribute to creating the future you want through your presence and your awareness right here in the here and now? So that's where I'm going to go with this. Whatever you may be wanting to manifest, I'm really going to dive into that process and that space of opportunity and see what can unfold. See if we're even given an indication of what might be coming in the future for you. So this is what we are doing today in the extendeds. Beautiful Pisces, thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for tuning into my new channel here. And thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing and all the things that you do. And thank you to those of you who are also tuned into the Moon Magic Weekly channel, my main channel, where I do lots and lots of readings. Do check out the Moon Month energy update as well, and the new moon readings. It's really, really interesting. Beautiful souls. Tons and tons and tons and tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you again for some other readings really soon, and maybe see some of you in the extendeds. They are available on Patreon and in the YouTube members area, and I'll put all of those links below, and the link to my book Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness as well. And yeah, tons of love, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Have an amazing month. This really is about, this is the real deal of transformation. It really is. So lots of opportunity here. Tons of love, Pisces. Moon Magic Super Souls, thank you so much for checking out this part of the video. I'm really, really honoured, mega excited, very humbled to be sharing with you my tarot course, which is now available and open to join. This is the Moon Magic Master Tarot Program. And this program is designed to literally teach you to read to a professional level. Whether you want to read just for yourself, or you'd like to read for others, for friends and family, or you want to literally read professionally or integrate reading into an existing career pathway. The course is designed to support you in every possible way to do this. It's been very much guided from day one. I was nudged, prompted, guided. The synchronicities were amazing to get the course started. And along the way, actually, during the creation of the course material, I was shown really clearly that the course was to mirror the evolutionary upgrade that humanity is currently involved in, where we are being lifted to higher levels of consciousness. It's been a very profound and very exciting experience. And the students who jumped on board to trial material and work with me along the way, all of them have said this is a life-changing experience. So it's very, very unique. Now, I've created a homepage with a video that tells you much more about how the course works, and the curriculum is there, and you can really find out whether this course is right for you, whether it would sing to you. So do check out that homepage. I will put the link right at the top of the description box, and also in the comment that I post beneath this video as well. But I wanted to just let you know also why I'm launching it now. I mean, because this course really has been guided from day one. And I've sat with this and really asked whether, now is now the right time to launch this course. The course itself is still in production. It's completely created, but it's still in production. It's a mammoth task to create a course like this that works within an ethical framework. I mean, it's mega exciting. I'll leave you to check out that homepage to find out more. But I got a real big thumbs up that now is the right time to open the doors and welcome people in. We're going through so much upheaval. We are in the midst of this massive upgrade, and there's so much going on, and the course itself does also give you an anchor point. It connects you with a community of people who are all walking that spiritual pathway, who are all dedicated to their own personal evolutionary growth and their own contribution to the collective at large. And as I said, I have really sat with this, and I was absolutely given the thumbs up that now is the time to do this, to open the doors. There are amazing benefits actually for you if you do decide to jump on board whilst videos are still in production. I mean, there's over 300 videos in level 1 alone. Whilst some of those videos are in production, it does mean that you will be one of the first people to actually complete the course and to access this material. And there's loads of it already there, but as it sort of moves towards its completion, you'll also potentially be the first people to join level 2 and to go on and be registered on the Moon Magic Find a Reader directory, which is about creating a directory of readers who work within an ethical framework. Again, I've spoken much more about this in the video on that homepage, so do check it out if this is something that is really floating your boat. We are also, I would add, seeing a lot of volatility in the financial markets across the world. And although that's not my primary reason for launching the course now, I am very conscious that here in the UK we already pay taxes on everything that we create, whether it's goods or services. These taxes have been here forever, there's nothing new. But gosh, if we start to add additional tariffs, if something is then added to the course that could up the price yet again, at the moment we're seeing goods affected, but what if this is applied to services? I kind of really felt I wanted to open doors and create an opportunity for people to jump on board before we see any more volatility in the financial markets. It's not my main reason for launching the course now, but it certainly prompted me to really look at this and seek guidance. Is now the right time to open the doors? And I got a resounding thumbs up. So beautiful souls, do check out the course if this is something that is potentially singing to you. Thank you for being here on the Moon Magic Tarot channel, whether this is the weekly tarot channel, the monthly tarot channel, just thank you for being you. Thank you for following readings, whether they are mine or other people's, because, if you're doing this kind of stuff, you are walking that pathway, that evolutionary pathway of growth, and, you're holding the light. We are light beings, and we are here to enable humanity to grow lighter and to live lighter, to see things differently, to do things differently, to be different, to live differently. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for just for being you, for supporting the channel and for supporting all tarot channels. And if this is singing to you, check it out. Otherwise, regardless, I hope to see you again really, really soon here on my channel. And thank you for being you. Thank you for listening. Tons of love.